Hi, I'm Trisha O'Toole and I run Indigo Sky Events. We're a wedding planning and corporate management company, and today I want to talk to you about personalising your wedding. This is the best bit, the real best bit of having a wedding, putting your own personal stamp on it. When we look at the years of planning weddings or having weddings, we tend to see white, ivory dresses, things done almost in formula, and parents paying for weddings. Those days are long gone. Certainly when mine got married, I ended up paying for my own wedding. There's nothing wrong with that. People taking a longer time to get married these days. To begin with, let's have a look at some of the venues. You can go for a traditional venue, church, castle, greenery, or you can go for the ever-growing amount of boutique hotels that are around these days that will offer you a contemporary service or something that's a little bit in between. So you've chosen the venue and you've taken a look at the venue. There's nothing wrong with having a look at the type of menu that they can offer. Ask the chef if you can actually try the menu, get them to give you a sample of the menu. They can only say no. But if they say no, is this a company that you actually want to use anyway? Your photographer can make you feel like $1,000,000 as well as you being dressed up in your bridal gear. Sometimes it's better to go with a recommended photographer. And if you're choosing one that you've never chosen before, do your research, get a sample of their work, have a look at their websites, see what people have said about them. Does it suit your budget? Make sure that he makes you feel comfortable and he takes the shots as you want them to be taken, not as he thinks they should be taken. Now I move on to a part of the wedding that actually I had a lot of fun with, and this was a bit most unusually that my husband and I had a lot of discussion about, was choosing the music for our wedding and choosing the music that we were going to have as the first dance. We couldn't agree. It took us 2 weeks to agree to the song because what he thought was our song was not our song, and I thought our song was something completely different. And our theme and the type of music that we wanted and trying to find the right person to do that, we just simply couldn't agree. And I think we looked at about 20 to 30 different types of people. Go out and see these people. Don't take it as read just because they've said it to you on the phone that they're good. Go and see them. So now let's take a little look at your bridal party. And you can have a traditional one, you can have which consists of yourself and the in-laws and the bridesmaids and that sort of thing. Or you can have something completely different, which doesn't have any of the traditional kind of people in it. Your bridal party is what you want it to be. Everybody wants to see the cake. Everyone wants to see how wonderful it is. Does your cake reflect you? And cakes have moved away from the traditional white cake. You can have so many variations of cake. Cupcakes, no cakes. I've seen people actually have fruit. So it can be completely what you want it to be. Now you're at the stage where you need to look at your dress. How are you going to personalise it? Is it going to be traditional? Is it going to be totally offbeat and totally creative? Is it going to be designed as a one-off? On my wedding day, I decided that I was going to have a little heart sewn into the inside of my dress. And my bridesmaid had exactly the same thing with a little personal message on it. So when the day was getting a bit stressful, I knew that it was there and it made me feel comfortable and special. The entertainment for your wedding and the music for your wedding is just as important as anything else. So make sure it's something that you really want. A lot of couples now are going away from the traditional kind of band and producing things that are downloaded on the iPod. It shows you how technology has progressed, and playing it through speakers. There's nothing wrong with that. At least you get the music that you want and in the sequence that you want it. Now you need to think about what flowers are you going to have that's going to complement your dress and really bring out the flavour and the mood of the dress. What colours are you going to choose? Think about the colours that are going to go with your skin tones. I actually dried mine out and kept them for a long time. And I know some people that kind of froze those and kept theirs as well. So think about what you want to do with it afterwards. We are now in a stage where a lot of couples live together for a long period of time before they decide to get married. And these are the couples that it's most difficult to buy gifts for. So if you're one of these couples, what do you want your guests to do? Do you want them to decide for you and buy a gift that they think is right for you? Or do you want to give them a steer? Most couples these days have a gift list. You can give wedding vouchers, or you can do something like donate something to charity. But tell your guest what you want so that you get the right thing. There's nothing more embarrassing than getting gifts that you actually can't use. Choosing your stationery and favours can be so personal. And as I've said, I've known clients that have actually designed their own wedding stationery and gone for the real personal touch. Or you can do a variation of two. So you've got some standard kind of wordings, but personal kind of ribbons and things like that. Your invitations are a reflection of the type of wedding that your guests are expecting to see. Right, now the two of you are standing in front of each other and now you're expected to say your vows. In the old traditional days, you kind of went with what was there and what was recommended. But we're now at the stage where you can actually personalise your vows and say things that are more meaningful to you as a couple. You don't necessarily have to say what is pre-required or predestined in the traditional sense. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can actually personalise your vows as well. A lot of couples these days use a wedding planner to help them to personalise their wedding. You can tell your wedding planner exactly what you want to do to personalise the wedding and make that day extra special for you. Your wedding planner will be able to then go out and source the types of things that best fits you and your partner to be. It could be as fun as finding a red double-decker bus, vintage cars, anything. But your wedding planner should be able to assist you in making sure that you personalise your day. I recently planned a wedding for a couple in Denmark. And it meant that we went along to Denmark to see what we could do in terms of personalising her wedding. It got down to the nitty-gritty of actually personalising the cake, which was made up of 6 different colours, can you believe it? 6 complementary colours, and it was very fitting for the country at the time, but you wouldn't necessarily do that in London or Manchester. There were so many traditional things that they had to do to personalise the wedding, which made it different. And the research that went into that was invaluable because at the end of the day, it worked very well for both of them.